Hey guys, it's Kat. I have a combination of things to share with you today. But this is going to start out as a very serious broadcast first because I'm a little fucking annoyed. So I want to say like a week or so ago, probably more. I'm not good at measuring time. I did a broadcast about this guy who I had gone on a date with, who was getting on my case in the middle of me braiding my hair. And it was really aggravating me, and it was really pissing me off, and it was kind of scaring me. And so I came here and I made a video about it. And in one portion of the video, while I was trying to show text, and I want to make it clear, the reason why I make videos like this and the reason why I make videos like that is often because, you know, when you go through shit alone, you know, it can be easy for you not to understand the many layers of nonsensical shit that you're experiencing. You know, like I experience a lot of positive and negative things when it comes to dating. And so sometimes it's nice for me to share, if only to bounce shit off of people, you know? That being said, there has been like a constant sort of thing in the back of my head since I've been very openly blogging about dating and being single and being poly and all the stuff that goes with that, of like, how much do I share? Because on this channel, I feel pretty safe. I've got like 100, that 5,000 subscribers. It's not my massive channel. Not a lot of people give a fuck enough about me to want to watch these videos. So I don't, I've been pretty open and I haven't really been censoring myself, and that's been very intentional, right? But part of the thing that I think about sometimes is the possible negative impact of me bringing men who are not on this platform, who do not want this attention, who do not want all of this, shit that I have, in a spotlight where they don't want to be, And so in one portion of the video, I was showing you guys the text messages that he was sending me because they were genuinely scaring me. And this guy still doesn't get why, this guy still doesn't get why they're scaring me. But whatever, we're not going to talk too much about that. But anyway, long story short, I shared the text messages, and I didn't really realize I was doing this, but because I'm still relatively new to my phone, and I figure when you put the contact name, when you give somebody a name in the contacts, like on an iPhone, when you do that, you don't see the number anymore. When I showed the text messages, and then also that his number was below it, because that's how it works on an Android when you're using Messenger. And so I accidentally shared his phone number, and I have this app that runs through my computer. Because after all that shit, I blocked him on my phone. But for some reason, if I block someone on my phone, I'll still get the text messages through the app that I have on my computer, which is definitely, kind of an annoying thing. But in this case, I was glad it sort of happened, because apparently some of the people who are watching my videos here went back to that video, freeze the frame of the video, got his number down, and started contacting him. Now, that's my fault. And I'm not going to act like it isn't, because it is. There was no reason why I should have shared his number. Even if I didn't do it purposefully, there was no reason why I should have done that. And I do feel bad about that, because that wasn't fair. I was scared, sure. And you guys watched the video and you saw how shaken up I was, because, for me, it was like, it was almost like the precursor to an abusive relationship, because I genuinely could not understand why I communicate to this person so clearly that I was not available to text him, and I was busy doing something with my hair. I needed to do this. This was me really trying to focus on getting a thing done so that I could go and live my fucking life. I really didn't understand how I could do that and then him still be really upset with me not contacting him. And so it scared me because that's not the normal way people react to stuff. I've never dated anyone or been with anyone where you say to them, I'm busy and I'm not going to be able to do this today. I'll catch up with you later. And it turns into something scary where they're screaming at you and they're yelling at you because, well, all this sort of shit that they have as baggage from the that was pretty fucking scary to me. Now, I'm sure he's been through shit. I'm sure he's gone through his stuff, but it was really, really scary for me to not really know this person so well, but for him to be talking to me like we've had this long-term relationship and me saying I was busy was a lie that I was making. We don't know each other well enough to do that, right? So anyway, apparently he's been getting text messages and people have been sending him nudes. They've been talking shit to him. They've been calling him a misogynist and this and this and this and that. And to be honest with you guys, I'm a little pissed off about that. Now, it's my fault. It's my fucking fault. And I have a hunch that the people that are doing this are not my fans, are not my followers, but they're actually trolls. But in the off chance that they actually are my followers, don't fucking do that thinking that you're defending me. Okay? Don't fucking do that thinking that you're doing something to protect me or to help me or, to make me feel safer, because what you're actually doing is putting me in a more dangerous situation, and you're agitating something that clearly did not need to be agitated. My fault. I shared the phone. The number was there, and I'm really sorry for that because I don't want to, because my big thing, you've noticed by me giving people nicknames, me trying to be really, really vague, I go out of my way to make sure that, people can't piece together who I'm talking about. This was a case where I literally showed his name and his phone number on accident for sure, but I literally shared his name and his phone. So he wasn't anonymous anymore. This was not some random person. This was not, it's like Soldier or Mario, who I tell you guys very vaguely about. This was someone's real number and real name, and that was not cool. And I know that, and I'm very regretful that I did that. I privated the video for a couple of reasons. I privated the video largely because I want to be able to document this shit. There's still a part of me that's a little scared, to be honest with you. But more than anything, I want to document in case anything else happens with this guy. But I also, because I deleted all my texts. So that's the ironic part, is once I blocked him, I deleted all the text messages. So in a way, if something does happen, which who knows, probably it might not, that's the only way that I have that stuff available. And I didn't download the video. There was a live broadcast. And the only way for me to download it now is for me to make it unlisted and then re-download it, which means that it's going to be republished, which means that more people can see it, and that's going to agitate the problem. So I'm just going to be private. I'm not going to delete it because I don't want to get rid of something that I could, use later if I needed to. I'm just not. And the reason why I even made that video, and the reason why I make a lot of these videos, is because I do feel like I should document a lot of this stuff. Like when I was and if you were there for that broadcast, like when I was describing to you guys a lot of the shit that I went through with this dude, a lot of people were like, yeah, like even when I was saying it out loud, I was like, oh fuck, I should have known, I totally, there were so many different signs. Because I am unfortunately the sort of person who will sort of try to make something, to fit a square peg into a round hole, thinking, okay, so maybe he's this and maybe he's that, and maybe he's that, maybe he's this. But, maybe I can still make it work. Unfortunately, I do that sometimes. And that doesn't really pan out for me ever. But sometimes it's easier for me to see that when I'm sharing that with people and I'm saying it out loud. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? I should have known that was how that was going to go. I should have known that, right? And I'm not gonna say it's funny that this happened, but because it's weird how stuff kind of happens in sequence for me. Like there's stuff that like the universe tells me things consistently, and it's like maybe you shouldn't, you know. So recently, really good, this really awesome guy. It was like an instant chemistry thing. Like we just really meld well together. And, you know, he's really cute. He's really nice. He's very politically engaged. He like runs a really great website about engaging in arguments with people who are right wingers and stuff. He's just a really cool guy. And he's just very sexy. And he's like the first guy, honestly, that I've gone on a date with recently where I've been like, oh wow, I really fucking like this guy. Like a lot of people, I go on like okay, good dates or whatever, but I was like, it was almost an instant chemistry thing where like I can see myself seeing this guy for a while. And it's weird how when you have someone like that come into your life, how you start to sort of reorient a lot of the shit that's happening in your life. Like, so right now I'm getting ready to go on a date. What else is new about me? I'm always going on a fucking date, right? Last night I was supposed to go on another date, but that guy ended up flaking out on me. That's a whole other conversation. He's the second Black guy that I was excited about seeing, who's also an actor. You know, and he had some shit. That's a whole other conversation, girl. We can talk about that in another video. But you know, I was not when he didn't show up. Was I annoyed that like I put my time down and I invested all this shit to meet this guy, and after chasing him for weeks? Yeah. But at the same time, because I had met this guy that I really like, there's a part of me that like wanted to start to orient towards focusing on, not focusing on him, but like giving him time, if that makes any sense. Because if I'm booking myself up on all these fucking dates, that means ultimately I'm going to have less and less days where I can see him, right? And so there's been kind of like this consistent sort of thought about like, well, where are you going with all of this? You know, because obviously, and I think I've told you guys, my goal with dating has been, you know, to find a solid group of people who I like, you know, who I'm seeing, who I don't feel the need to, you know, who I'm not trying to date for the sake of dating. I'm trying to sort of find the people who mesh with me so that I can get to the point where I just don't even want to do this fucking dating thing anymore. If that makes any sense. I want consistent partners. And so, you know, people not showing up on dates, people flaking out, even people popping off on me and dates not panning out. Like in a way, it's like, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Because I'm starting to find more people who are more in line with what I'm looking for and more in line with my personality. And that's making me not want to necessarily go on all these dates, right? So like last night, you know, I made a decision to go to a couple of different bars in the area because he flaked out on me, or he didn't, that's a whole other conversation. He didn't show up. And so I made a decision to go to a couple of different bars that I don't usually go to, that are in the area where the bar I go to is all the time. And so I went to one bar, and that was kind of boring or whatever. And I went to another bar, and there was a guy in the bar who looked so much like this guy who I've been talking to online. And I sent him a message on Instagram, and I was like, hey, are you at this bar right now? Because there's a guy here who looks a lot like you, you know? And so he got back to me and he was like, no, that's not me. And I'm definitely probably way better looking. And also, you know, and don't bother, you know, introducing yourself to me because, you know, I don't date serial daters. And, I look at your posts and shit, and I really think that's really tacky how you're always bragging about going on these dates and this and this and that, you know. And like, now, girl, to be honest, I was drunk. So I was a little in my feelings. So I felt the need to really kind of explain to him, like, I'm not really serial dating. I guess I am though. I'm poly and I go on a lot of dates, like, and a lot of times when you see, because I post on my private Instagram, I'll post like, oh, I went on this really, really cute date and da 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 da. But you don't know if that's with the same person or different people. It's not like I'm going on a ton of dates. I mean, I am, but sometimes it's the same person. And so, I was a little mad and in my feelings, and it made me really think about like, how much should I be talking about my dates? Because I don't ever think that I'm saying things in the tone of like, look at me, I'm so great, I'm going on all these dates. Like, that's definitely not how I think about it. I think about it in terms of like, I'm just talking about my day. And like, kind of big thing that I'm sort of um experiencing in my life now is sort of, so I just got out of a very isolated relationship with someone who I was with for 5 years. I had no friends. I had no family connections. I didn't really have the ability to go out. I didn't really have the ability to socialize. I was in my house all day long, waiting for him to come home, watching him going and play video games and talk to his friends, and me just sort of hovering around him and then also working on my shit. Moving out here, it's like I have a lot of freedom that I just did not have. And so I think part of me going out a lot and part of me posting a lot about this shit is just because it's so new to me still. It's new, it's exciting, and I really want to be able to enjoy my young ass fucking life, because I was not able to do so many things, right? And so now I'm really sort of enjoying it. And so on my private, in my private Instagram, I'll post the restaurants I'm going to, the different food that I'm eating, all the shit that you guys don't see on my public Instagram, because I don't want to A, deal with stalkers, and B, get fucking I don't want people to I don't want to get into long ass conversations with vegans about what I'm eating. Let's put it that way. Let's just put it down fucking sharply. I don't want to fucking do that, okay? Don't want to. And so I feel very uncensored on my private Instagram, right? And so I just say whatever the fuck I'm doing. And part of that is just me enjoying living my LA ass lifestyle these days. And so there's a lot of different readings of that, like, not everyone is up here documenting their fucking dates the way that I do. And so maybe that's just weird in general, right? But in a way, I will say this is sort of my life and what I have to talk about a lot, And again, as I sort of start meeting people who I really like and really want to be around and really want to spend time with, that's just becoming less of a thing that I'm interested in doing, really. And to have a situation like this where, as an extension of me talking about a date or, dating, this person was pushed into the spotlight in a way that I don't think they really truly deserve to be. Honestly, like it was another fucking sign that I maybe need to calm the fuck down just a bit. Now I know part of that guy's frustration, even this guy's frustration I'm talking about with me being poly and dating a lot, is that dating is way more accessible to women than it is to men. I mean, men can go on a lot of dates if they really want to, but women aren't usually the people who are like, yeah, let's go on a date. Like, men usually are a little bit more proactive. And so as a woman, I'm going to go on more dates. Right. And there are a lot of women who date just like me, but they don't talk about it. And so, they might get the impression that, you know what I mean? Like, I talk about it. A lot of other people won't, but I talk about it. What time is it? And I don't feel weird or bad about that. I would rather be real, but then, like, do people really need to know everything about my fun? Do I need to make a post every time I'm on a cute date? No, And do I date too much? I'm going to be real with myself and say, yes, I do. And honestly, one of the things I've been sort of thinking a lot about recently is like, bitch, you need to get to work. VidCon is this month, and your passive goal since you've moved out here is to be back in uploading videos, back in editing shit, back in doing stuff and having stuff ready to go. So when you go to VidCon, people will be like, oh yeah, I loved your video that you did about, all this stuff, like, and I haven't really, I think the last time I was really hardcore, consistently uploading content onto YouTube was around after VidCon, and VidCon is right now, and so I need to, because even right now, I mean, do I want to go on this date? Yes. Do I like this guy? Sure. But also, I was working earlier today, and I guess I could have stayed home and like worked on stuff more because there's more for me to do. And, I would get further along in my work. And, dating is kind of becoming a bit of a nuisance, I guess you could say. Like today I was supposed to go on a date this afternoon with a guy, and he canceled because he had work stuff to do. And then I was going to go on a date tonight, and like, it's not really good for me, I think. But then maybe I'm starting to feel like this because I actually have more consistent people. I don't know. Let me do my eyeliner because I am running late as per usual. Anyway, so that's a lot of what's been on my mind. Like I want to be able to share stuff about dating with you guys. I really do. And that's so much of what my life is about right now. But if I'm being real, I think meeting someone I really like and then having these experiences, it's really just making me like understand, like, I need to chill the fuck out. I need to calm the fuck down because at the end of the day, I don't know if dating a lot the way that I am is helping me or making me feel like a happier person. I mean, I'm happy I met someone, but men are so aggravating. Men are so aggravating. Men are so scary, honestly. I think this guy whose number I accidentally shared, I don't think he gets like the ways that he comes off as scary. He just doesn't. We talked about it today. It was like he just doesn't get it. And the weirdest thing too to me about that situation was like, even after all that conversation and we explained shit, he still was like, you know, I really liked you and I wanted to go on another date with you. You know, it was like, well, dude, like, I personally, you know, trying to see it from another side. If I went on a date with someone, and this is me, because you guys don't understand, I'm always just the kind of person who turns on my camera and just talks. I don't think about stuff a lot. This is such a cathartic thing for me to do. I probably need to get a fucking therapist. But I don't always think, a lot about things beyond me just talking about the shitty experience I've had. I don't think about the way that it can always impact someone who, is someone's real life. And with this guy, like, he's got a really fragile status. He's an immigrant. Like, there's a lot of shit that, like, he just doesn't need to have on his plate because of me, because he went on a shitty date with me. What I was going to say was, if I went on a date with someone and they made some video on YouTube and they accidentally shared my number, I don't know if I want to see them ever again. And so I just told him, like, we're just not a match. It just is what it is. Because my biggest thing is, like, it's a boundaries thing. It's a boundaries thing. I told you I was busy. I told you this. He's constantly accusing me of being a liar. He doesn't know me very well, which is why it's so scary. But me posting something that had his number in it, that was fucked up and wrong. I didn't do it intentionally. I didn't do it being like, yeah, let me fucking show you these text messages and then you guys can go and, send him texts. And I didn't do that, for that reason at all. I don't want people to do that. I don't really want people to be involved. This is the funny part that doesn't make sense. I don't want people to be involved in my dating life. Even though I'm telling you guys, I don't want people to be involved in my fucking dating life. I don't want to have conversations with him about my followers contacting him and saying, like, that's terrifying, So I did tell him that I'll offer to pay for a new number, whatever the situation is, because that's my fucking fault. I did fucking wrong. I also told him he could take me to court. I'm willing to fucking pay for it. Like, because it was wrong. It was wrong, and I really should not have done that. Now, to clarify, did this guy's messages scare me? Yes. They did. But do I think this guy is going to show up at my place and kill me? No. I really don't. I don't think he is. I really don't think he is. From what I've understood, especially after talking to him today, he just felt very misunderstood. And there were a lot of misfires on both parts, He's gone through some shit with his previous relationships where, like, I just triggered a lot of his shit, me not going out of my way to, constantly keep in contact with him was, agitating some wounds from a previous relationship where he felt discarded and ignored. That has nothing to do with me, but a lot of what happened was what he needs from me is like what my ex needed from me that I was not able to give him, that made me feel very closed in, right? And what I'm available to give him is not really what he needs, right? Or wants, rather. I guess needs too. And so we're just really not a match, We're just not a match. We may have a lot of fucking shit in common, but we're just really not a match. So I'm not scared that this guy's going to kill me. I'm not scared this guy's going to hurt me. I don't think he will. So again, if you're one of these people texting him right now being like, we don't, because he told me that someone was like, we don't need another dead trans woman. If you're one of those fucking people, stop. You're not helping me. You're not defending me. You're not doing anything noble or good. You are making the situation a lot fucking worse. I went on an okay date with him and he sent me some scary text messages. He does not deserve to have his life ruined because of that. I will take full credit for being someone who made the mistake of sharing text messages that shared his phone number. That was fucked up and wrong. But from that point, the video is private now. No one else can fucking see it. Because he told me that someone was like, oh, she's gonna, I'm gonna post the number all around because we don't need dead trans women. Don't fucking do that. Don't fucking do that. Because if anything, now you're putting him in this really shitty situation, and you're also putting me in a really shitty situation where all these people are going to contact him. Like, you don't know all the conversations that we've had. It's not cool to do that. I don't want to have to get into an even scarier situation because now you guys have pushed him in a way where he feels like he has to do some shit. You're not helping. So if you're my fan and you're doing this, don't fucking do it. Stop fucking doing it. I'm so fucking serious. One thing I will say that made the guy that I've met recently and gone on a good date with, a really, really good person, is that he was super familiar with my YouTube channel. I mean, not super familiar, but like he had seen my videos in the past, was aware that it was a thing I did, and knew about me as a blogger. I try really hard not to talk about that up front. None of my dating profiles really mention it. I don't really mention it on dates. And I try to like soften the blow to everything. I'm about to go on a date with this guy. And I'm going to tell him, like, this is what happened today. This is the situation that I was in. These are the videos I make on my side channel. And yes, I've discussed you before. And just sort of see where the fuck that goes. Because I think I'm not helping myself by compartmentalizing my shit. And also, I need to be able to let men know that this is a thing that I do. Because, it's again, like with the situation with the girl who doesn't pay no rent, for example. I felt really justified in talking about that. I felt really justified in having a conversation about that because she was pissing me off at the time. But what I didn't also recognize is that even though I had all these valid reasons to be upset with her, I was pushing someone who did not want to be in the headline, not the headline, in the limelight, I guess, who really didn't want to be. She didn't consent to that. She didn't say yes to that. And is she a completely terrible person who deserves to have her life ruined or to be trolled? No, she's really not. She's just a stupid young girl. It's not that big of a deal. Same with this guy. Like, this guy, I don't think he's a terrible person. He scared me for fucking sure. But I think our personalities just don't mesh. And that he communicates in a way that I find really fucking frightening. And that's his way of communicating. And he's told me, there are people who, in the past who have da-da-da-da-da. There's someone out there who loves that shit. There's someone out there who loves it. It's not me. Hey, Google, what time is it? Hey, Google, what time is it? Oh, Google really doesn't want to listen to me today. So I'm saying all that to say that there's just a lot of shit that's happened that's made me really rethink the way that I discuss dating on here. Because I do not want to be in a situation like this again. And I don't think that all the guys I go on dates with really deserve to be put out there like that. Like, I have a lot of the talks that I give, a lot of the things that I talk about are honestly, it's like I went through this experience and made me think a lot, and I wanted to rant about it, because there's a lot of the different failures I've had with men have all been very different, and it made me think a lot. And this was a scary situation for me where I wanted to sort of document it and talk to you guys about it because it was a thing I was going through, But that all still being said, shitty date does not equate to terrible person who needs to be harassed, you know? Does not. I get, again, if you're a fan of mine or you're a follower of mine and you're, you know, I get why you would be defensive and shit, but like, you're not helping. Don't think that you're helping me by, you know, sending this guy text messages if you have his number, because you're really not. Because as it stands, I basically told him, let's go to court, you know, let's go to court. So if you're a supporter of mine, don't fucking make this worse. I don't even know where the fuck I put my glasses. Sorry. Had to go find some shit. All right, so let me read. One sec. Oh, you know what? I'm going to make Peach a moderator because I know you're here all the time. All right, so now I'm reading the comments because I'm changing, so multitasking. Usually results in more negative consequence for you, though your actual fans would understand that. Yeah, so Ultrabris says, yeah, that usually results in a more negative consequence for you. I would hope your actual fans would understand that. You know, I feel so my theory with who is actually contacting him, I really do think that it's trolls, because I don't think the people who actually care about me would be like, yeah, you know what would be great? Let's fucking message and agitate this guy who, she was scared of, about. I don't think that my followers would do that. At the same time, though, I do know that I do have followers of mine who would probably do something like that, like, I don't know. Like, I can't pretend that I know what's going on in these people's heads. But I do know that I have people who follow me who are very defensive of me. But I have a really strong feeling, because shit like this has happened before, where not the phone number shit, but like if someone does something really shitty to me, trolls will pretend to be my fans and will contact the person, send them a lot of shitty abuse and a lot of shitty messages and stuff. And then then of course the person is like, oh, Kat Black sent her fans after me, and this is what they've all been saying to me. They've all been doing this and this and that. And those are never really my followers, because my followers would know better. They're usually trolls who are just trying to get, people to believe that I'm just some crazy person who, wants people to be harassed. Like, that's not at all me. And my followers would fucking know this, I think he has every real and valid reason to be upset, to be angry, to be mad at me and stuff like that. But the people who are texting him, I highly, 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 highly doubt that they are my quote fans. I really don't think they are. There's also a part of me that's like, I don't know. There's a part of me that also thinks that, like, maybe, just maybe, he might be over dramatizing the types of messages that he's getting. I also don't know. What is the point of the dates? Where do they lead? Interactions, relationships? I feel that even men want an end game at some point. That's a good fucking question. It's a question I've been asking myself a lot recently. What's the point? Because I think that there are some people who I go on dates with because I'm fascinated with them, or I'm attracted to them, and I want to see where things could potentially go with them. But I don't know. The men that I go on dates with are often so fucking unavailable. A lot of poly dudes are like, I've got a wife and 2 girlfriends. I don't have time to do anything with you, but I guess we could fuck if you really wanted to, kind of situation. And I don't do that, so it's a waste of time. But I haven't really buffered out. I think the problem is right now, the way that my life works, especially because I'm not traveling anywhere. I build I build my schedule around dates, and that's. I literally build my schedule around dates. I decide when I'm doing stuff based on whether or not I have a date that day. And I don't think that that's necessarily the best way to live. And so I'm having a lot of thoughts about what exactly we're doing here. Boy, it is so fucking hot in here. I always forget that we'll get a really shit view of what it looks like when the sun is right there. It's so fucking hot in here. Ugh. It's so warm. Whenever my trainer comes over, he's like, it's so hot in here. I don't know how you fucking do it. Um, so maybe take a break from it and see how you feel. So actually one of my friends was like, so Kat, here's the thing. You are online too much. You're on these dating websites too much. You're going out too much. You need to have a full day, 24 hours from midnight to midnight where you don't fucking touch the internet, where you don't fucking go out. You stay inside on your own and you have your hermitude, as he calls it, where I'm just on my own, living in myself and not doing much else other than being alone with myself. And not being on the internet, not being on these dating websites, not checking text messages, not doing any of that shit, just being completely shut off and alone. Because I think part of why, I think if I'm being real, probably part of the reason why I go on a lot of these dates is because I don't like being alone. You know, I live in a big fucking apartment, which makes the empty space around me feel that much more. You know, it's I've definitely been in, you know, this very lonely phase of life, I feel, where I'm just trying not to be with myself. And that's a thing I need to fucking work on. I need to work on being able to be alone. You know? Oh, this is a third date dress, by the way. You can tell because there's titty in it. I heard that as humans, we don't search for someone who is awesome for us. We search for someone who makes us suffer. That way we are used to suffering. Suffering equals comfort for most. Interesting. Not about who can consciously like. I don't know how it's not obvious that texting a person who you don't know in real life for someone you don't know in real life is a good idea. Yeah. Off topic, what kind of lotion is that? This is White Citrus by Bath and Body Works. I need to go back and let those girls sell me more shit because I'm almost at the end of. Cause you know when you go to Bath and Body Works or Bath and Body Works. I'm saying that right. Yeah, Bath and Body Works. They're always trying to sell you everything. They're like, you don't need just this one thing. You also need all the other things. You know. And I'm about almost done. Oh, do I have lotion on my? Oh my god, I've come on myself already. So I'm going on a date tonight with you know the guy that I told you guys about who, you know, he hasn't really had a conversation with his wife about kissing me and being more intimate with me. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe that will have changed. We haven't seen each other in a really long time. But like that's who I'm going on a date with. And I'm gonna tell him I'm gonna bottom line it to him, like, I think you need to talk to your wife before we go on another date. Like, because I'm definitely not feeling the like him not quite being honest with his wife thing. It's just not gonna work out, I think. And also, because I met this really, really great guy, and let me just tell you, this guy, like first of all, let me get my phone so I can call an Uber. So I'm not distracted. I'm sad. I wish I could fucking block him on this app. I don't want to talk to him anymore. That's like an oversight. Because I use AirDroid and it's like, if I block someone on my phone, I should probably also have them block on AirDroid as well. Seems like a no-brainer. See, right now, I'm about to go on the date, so I'm texting you on a fucking OkCupid. I'm a mess. There's still a mark on your dress from the lotion. Oh, there still is. It's okay. I'll just tell him I had a date before this, and that's why I had that mark on my dress. I don't know, y'all. I guess I'm just getting tired, and I would much rather spend time with this guy that I just started seeing. And I would much rather have openness for him. And I would much rather, I don't know. I'm just finding myself really, I don't know. Well, the thing is, I'm putting this on because I know it's going to get cold later. And it's 8 o'clock now. It's going to get cold later. So, all right. So I'm excited to see this guy, but I need him to talk to his wife. I really do need him to talk to his wife. That's another thing too that I'm thinking a lot about. So like, if I start dating people and I'm poly and I'm blogging about it and people start to know who I'm dating and people start to be aware of who I'm dating, do I really want all of the information about, them to be on here? I don't know. Probably not, I'm imagining. It's probably not the way I want to do things. So I don't know what that's going to mean in terms of me talking about dating, because obviously it's something that I really do like discussing, regardless of, how frustrating it may be from time to time. Okay. Yeah, I'll be there in 20 minutes. That's good. But, Oh, bitch. I'm so glad you reminded me. Because, like, my outfit is literally not complete without, a choker of some sort. I'm so edgy. Aren't I just so fucking edgy? Oh, it's so hot in here. Okay, so my Uber's on its way. It's 3 minutes away. I'll tell him to be there at 7:42. Hey, exclamation mark. I'm going to be there around 7:42, period. Sorry for running late. I don't know, y'all, because dating is really starting to feel like a chore, and it should never feel that way. It should never feel that way. So. Anyway, I'll probably have a good time. I like this guy a lot. He's really cool. He's really funny and very smart, and he has a lot of cool stuff to say. And he takes me to nice restaurants, which is cool too, I guess. But yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Oh, you know what I will say? Okay, so even though I did this guy dirty and I accidentally posted his shit, which I don't really feel good about, he thinks that like I needed him for YouTube fame. Like he thinks that like this is my YouTube channel. Like he thinks this is like what I'm known for on YouTube, which is like, I don't want to. Definitely not this. Definitely not this. Definitely not this. Like, I mean, yeah, this is fun or whatever, but definitely not this. This is definitely not my YouTube channel. This is my side channel. you know? Well, because he was like, "You're using me for this and this and that." I'm like, "Girl, I know you scared me. That's why I made a video about you. You scared me. That's why I didn't need to have to go through that. I would have rather have not." Anyway, what are these pictures, bitch? You know what? I didn't realize how big of a fucking forehead I have. I didn't realize that my forehead is massive. I've got a 5 head. I can fit my entire. Anyway. All right. Thank you guys for everything. I will talk to you guys later. We're going to like a really nice restaurant, so I'm a little nervous, but whatever. All right. Bye.